Yo, what's going on guys? Arekkz here, and today I want to talk about Starfield. More specifically, everything we currently know, which admittedly is not a great deal, but everything we currently know about Starfield, which is supposed to still launch this year. Now honestly, anytime there are games like this that don't really show you much, and we're already a good chunk of the way into the year, I do question whether it's actually going to launch this year, but regardless, I want to talk about it because it is of course an incredibly exciting title, so let's go over the details. If you guys do enjoy this, a like would be super appreciated. If you're excited for Starfield, let me know in the comments down below. Let me know what you're hoping to see from this title. And of course, don't forget to keep it locked for plenty more videos. So, to begin with, the release date. Starfield is supposedly slated for the 11th of November 2022, which admittedly is of course a specific date. If they were just to say Q4 2022, I'd be like, all right, this is probably going to be 2023. It does supposedly have a date, so with that in mind, maybe they're further along than we thought. Of course, E3, or at least the digital version of E3, is not that far away. Perhaps they'll drop a trailer then, and then of course you do still have the rest of the year to sort of market the game, so it is definitely still possible that it could launch this year, but I do think if that's the case, we want to start seeing stuff, or we should start seeing stuff relatively soon. Speaking of which, talking about the gameplay, or at least, what we have seen so far, which again, isn't much. In fact, it's kind of funny because we haven't really seen any gameplay footage. We of course have the nice trailer that sort of shows off some very nice looking visuals, but in terms of actual tangible in-game gameplay, running around the world, interacting with things, basically just sort of, depicting what we can experience from this game, there isn't much of this. So a lot of it is of course speculation, and a lot of this comes from speculation from previous Bethesda titles, Elder Scrolls, Fallout, stuff like that. If you've played any of the series, you know they are huge, absolutely massive RPGs with vast open worlds, and of course they give the player a sense of freedom rarely seen in RPGs. Quests can of course be taken on in basically any order, armor and weapons can be found, crafted and forged, broken builds can be made, shout out to the stealth archer in Skyrim. Pretty much every NPC and even the important ones can also have untimely deaths, so of course if Starfield aims to emulate the previous structures, the previous titles, then maybe we could expect that just in space. Starfield's space setting of course is something new for Bethesda when compared to the previous RPG works, so of course it's fair to assume we'll see a good degree of space travel, ship upgrades, weird ass alien planets, and some futuristic weaponry, hopefully. We do of course also know the game is going to be single player, which honestly I am pretty grateful for, given given Fallout 76 was a bit of a yikes. I know they've kind of made some improvements since then, but regardless, this is definitely going to be sort of one for you to sit down and just enjoy on your own. We of course also know the game is using the Creation Engine 2, which of course is the successor to the previous engine, said to use advanced high-resolution photogrammetry textures for in-game worlds, high-end motion capture technology, emphasis on smooth frame rates and 4K visuals. It's said to have tweaks on physics systems, new lighting and graphics tech, and of course built with current-gen consoles in mind. So with all that stacked up, it should in theory be a very nice looking experience. When it comes to the story, well, we don't necessarily know too much about the grander story itself. It was, of course, recently revealed that the game has over 150,000 lines of dialogue, which is more than double that of Skyrim. It's set in the year 2310 with civil wars. The game is based in these settled systems, areas where humanity's basically set up colonies in distant locations far from Earth, and we get to explore these in the year 2330. But apparently 20 years before that, there was a civil war in these locations, which means that the current factions are at an uneasy peace, and you are part of the Constellation, which is an organization of explorers trying to uncover the galaxy's secrets. We do also know about some of the locations we'll visit. New Atlantis seems to be like this sort of futuristic city with like a thick metropolis where it seems like technology has run high. You then have Neon, which was a fishing corp that discovered a fish that could make you high and now makes loads of money, bungo bucks off that instead. Ironically, Neon actually looks more like New Atlantis than New Atlantis, but we don't make the rules. And then Aquila City just looks like Tatooine, basically the space version of the Wild West. It's been done before, but honestly, not against it, especially given that it looks like we'll get to experience a fair few biome styles. So for the most part, that is pretty much it. Again, information on this game is relatively sparse at the moment, but for those of you guys that maybe haven't been necessarily following all of the information, then those are of course some of the most important things you want to keep in mind. So again, all eyes are probably on things like E3. That's more than likely going to be the next big information drop, so hopefully we get a trailer, we get some gameplay, we actually get some more clarity on whether we can expect this game this year. As when we do find out more information, I'll be sure to let you guys know. If you missed our recent upload, be sure to check out this video, and be sure to keep it locked on the channel for plenty more gaming videos.